on to reviews. Let's go ahead and jump on into the latest James Bond vehicle, No Time to Die. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. Jarren, what do you think of No Time to Die?
All right. First, overall, I like this. I was a fan of it. I walked into it with people saying in my ear that it wasn't paced exceptionally well, that it was too lovey-dovey, and there was not enough action sequences. Watching it, I didn't get that at all. Those people were wrong in my opinion. I thought the action was great. The initial car chase is great. I love to see the classic like spike balls, like the guns out the front and the smoke screen used to brilliant effect. Like they did a great job. I think that was such a callback to just classic Bond fans that I fucking loved it. I will say that Deadpool has officially ruined me for Bond beginnings because he did it so much better in Deadpool 2 with him on the gun. And I'm just like, I was waiting for something better. Like this Bond opening, I'm just like, I just wish the whole time it was Deadpool 2's opening. Like it was
don't worry, guys. Jason's laughing because I just slapped my face because Jarren and his Deadpool shit is going to be the death of me. Continue on, please.
As far as the gadgets go, I'm a gadget guy. I love the gadgets. Give me a proton pack. Give me a fucking time vehicle. The gadgets this time were okay. They were kind of minimal. That being said, the villains had the best goddamn gadget in the whole movie with that mag vest that they shot down thing they shot down the elevator tube that like shot a bunch of things out, and they just strapped the dude to a vest and they just dumped him down 100-foot chute, and it used magnetics to like stop him right before he became a plaster on the bottom. Thought that was awesome. Bond moves on, goes to Cuba at the behest of the CIA, meets one of the most attractive women I've ever seen, and she claims to have only been 3 weeks claims to be on the job for 3 weeks. Clearly, she's lying. Either way, in the middle of that fight, the mid gunfight drink that he pours behind the bar is one of the most Bond things I've ever seen, and I fucking loved it so much so that I made a note about it in the theater. I was like, mid gunfight drink is my favorite, and I put a heart.
And she takes one with them. She's like, yeah, let's do this.
She was all about it. Bond doing when he meets his daughter without knowing it's his daughter. When spoilers. Spoilers. That face he does when he's doing the math on the age is fucking classic. He's just like, he's 100%. He's just standing there. It's a very static image, and he's like looking at her eyes, and he's doing the math in his head, and he's like,
because he figures it out like right then and there. It's like, oh
yeah, 100% he did that.
He's like, no, it's not yours. It's like, but the blue eyes.
Yeah. I literally had only one issue, and it's this movie would have been over at about an hour and 30 if she had listened to Bond and shot whoever came through that fucking door in the Misty Wood sequence if it wasn't him, because she should have put like 7 bullets in our boy Malik without even thinking. It should have just happened. So
she was out of bullets, man.
She wasn't out of bullets. He handed her a gun.
Yeah, she shot a dude before, and then Malik comes out and she was out of bullets.
Yeah, because that's what made Bond run back, because she heard the gunshot.
He heard the gunshot. All right. Well, he should have left her with more than 4 bullets. You're right. That's fair.
She should have threw the gun at him.
That's how it works in movies. Yeah. She could have gotten out of there scot-free if she had done that. And then at some point they said the name of the movie in the movie, which is always a plus. So they said the name of the movie,
and they look into the camera
with our badass new Bond girl, our new 007. I guess. Yeah, spoiler. I guess it's time to die, and then boots that the most annoying.
Guys, we have to say spoilers before we say the thing, just so you guys don't know what that is. Like we say spoilers before we say the thing.
In the edit, I'll go back and I'll flash a spoiler warning on the screen before I start talking.
Yeah, but I'm not going to do that for the audio. So again, all right, yeah, it's fine. I'll put it in the passage that is spoilers all over. All right, continue.
Yeah, sorry, audio guys. But yeah, and she kicks him into that acid. And the most annoying scientist in the history of scientists.
Dude starts fucking mouthing off, and here's a spoiler about how he could just destroy the whole entire West African diaspora if he wanted to. Like,
yeah.
Why are you going to say that to a black lady, man?
Oh like, no, he was that. That's 100% Russian right there. Is what that is.
I mean, if he said it to Bond would be like, so okay, so yeah, that's why he said it to her.
Cool, we're British. We've been trying to do this the whole entire time. What are you talking about?
Right. He'd have been like, "Thank you for handling our light work
for a minute."
Yeah, had our light work out here in these streets.
But that means so yeah. So like yeah, I enjoyed the shit out of this movie. I thought the action sequences were great. The settings were great. Malik is unsettling to look at, but acted well. So yeah. And the girl was adorable, and it was sad. It was really fucking sad, that whole sequence at the end. I
got the cutest little white bitch in this thing. Like I'm gonna bring the cutest little, find the cutest little white girl you can. Let's put it in this movie.
Yeah, we're gonna need chubbier cheeks and bluer eyes, please.
Get one of them little Aryan babies out here.
Yeah. We need a child, extra Aryan.
For now on Jarren's reviews, we're gonna start doing like the pros and the cons because I don't even know what your review is. You're like, oh, the action was cool, I liked it. So we're just gonna do like pros, the things that Jarren liked, and then cons, the things Jarren didn't like.
Pros, things Jarren likes. Any beautiful girl.
Yeah.
The mag vest,
nice shots.
The mag vest. Deadpool's beginning was better. That car chase was fantastic. It wasn't at the level of like Ronin.
Oh, no, we got you. Just
good.
Just go push through your review. The rest of it, just go
moving it.
Let's go.
Yep.
You got anything left for us, Jarren?
Bond in this movie can take a grenade explosion at close range like nobody I've ever seen, and also. When that grave exploded, when Vespa's grave exploded, his cell phone worked exceptionally well considering it was next to a big fucking explosive 3 seconds ago. So yeah, other than that, yeah, great stuff. Loved it.
Okay, Jason, your review of No Time to Die.
All right. Most of my sentiments are going to be the same as Jarren's, but I'm going to start off with the thing that I felt was the weakest part of the movie, which is the villain. Rami Malek's Lucifer, I don't know. Thank God that he could fucking act, because there was no character development there. There's no minute. Like, he was just, I'm just a dick. I'm just gonna do dick shit. That's it. Like,
he was angry about his family getting killed.
Yeah, I mean, like, his family getting killed 30 years ago, but like that doesn't mean that you're gonna destroy the world because of it. It's like the bad guys killed your family. Why don't you become I don't know what his motivation was. It didn't feel there should have been more development of him rather than going on off of spoiler alert that they kill, spoiler alert, all of Spectre.
Spoiler alert.
I feel like that sort of like the Spectre or somebody of Spectre being behind that sort of thing, if it was Blofeld or whoever, would have been a more connective villain than this random guy who we never heard of being the last main villain for the Bond for this franchise. And I was just like, I did not care what his motivations were. I think the fucking Russian scientist guy was more like fleshed out than Rami Malek's character. For to have such a level of stakes that they were trying to push on there, that villain should have been somebody that we probably should have had the entire time of these movies or something like that.
At least in the background or doing something.
At least in the background, how they were trying to do with Blofeld, the Spectre of the last one, even though they kind of hand-fisted it in there because they didn't really have the rights to Spectre until the movie Spectre. Mm-hmm. But it should be that it's Blofeld or some other long-term goal behind that. That's my biggest gripe on the whole entire movie, is that the villain just didn't work. Other than that, one of the things I love about this movie.
What's Blofeld's name? The actor?
Christoph Waltz.
Yeah. I mean, every movie would be better with more Christoph Waltz.
Every movie. Like, he in that one scene with James Bond exhibited more menace and more pathos and more like just villainy than all of Rami Malek's scenes. Period.
Yeah.
Like all of it. And like, even though I love the ending, it was like That was a dick move, man. It was just a bitch ass move. You're getting your ass kicked, so you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna poison you. Now you can't see your family again." Get the fuck out of here, dude! Like, we won. Just stop.
Kid had little dick energy for days.
Yeah, little dick energy for days. One of the coolest things I like about this movie is that because they hired, I don't know the actress's name. I think it's Loretta Lynch, but don't quote me on that. But Naomi as 007, there was a lot of backlash about a black woman being 007. And in this movie, they're like, it's just a fuck. They hammered it home. It's just a fucking number. Anybody can be 007 if you are the best. It does not have to be James Bond to be 007. And I would like to see a movie starring this young lady as 007 because she was an absolute badass throughout this whole entire movie. She was fucking awesome. Not only was she awesome as just an agent, but she was, after her little initial tiff with James Bond, respected for him and the things that he has done. And at the end of the mission, he's like, yo, I want to give him back his designation because like this is probably been his last mission. So let him be 007. And I thought that was really, really cool.
Like that. I thought you're
dumb.
Lashana Lynch. Lashana Lynch.
Yeah, Lashana Lynch. I'm sorry. I said Loretta. It's Lashana. Yeah. But I liked their interplay between him and her. I liked the fact that he didn't fuck her for the the only Bond woman.
She wouldn't let him.
Yeah, she wouldn't let him. I love that the scenes with her and I don't know what the second command of MI6 that dude's name is, but like you see with like this with all the women, he's like it's 50-50. So that was a fun joke. Yeah, I pretty much enjoyed it. Like the action was tight, it was good. It looked for the most part very practical. There wasn't a lot of moments where I was like, oh, that's 100% CG or that's blue screen or whatever. A lot of the effects and stuff were really, really good. I'm not gonna lie, when you have like parent shit in movies, that's a good way to get me in my feels. And when he's in spoiler alert, at the end when he's talking to I can't remember the character's name. It's what?
His daughter?
Not his daughter, but his baby mama.
Oh,
and it's just like Leah. Telling her that I'm not coming home. Madeline, that's her name. I love you and I love her. You guys can be fine. Like I teared up a little bit. I was going. It got me right where they wanted me to get it, and I felt like it was a good and nice ending to this era of James Bond, because honestly, there was no happy ending for him. There was not going to be, because he's done so much. He's made so many enemies. He was never going to have a nice, peaceful retirement life. And even like, though I hated this, another spoiler, they killed off poor Felix.
Jeffrey Wright.
Yeah. And like,
what a way to go
for guys in this industry, and it was like it was a little foreshadowing to what was, because he's like, oh, I can just tell my family I saved the world again. It's like, nah, you're not gonna tell nobody what you did because you're gonna be dead, and there's no way around it.
It was weird in that sequence. I was hoping that he was gonna give James like the info and be like, will you pass along to my family? This is who they are. That I was part of saving the world again, which would have made it doubly horrible at the end of this.
Yeah, because he couldn't have done it.
Right.
But nice other little move was with the other CIA agent, Ash, I believe his name was.
Yeah.
When he was on his
Logan
deathbed,
Ash.
James Bond was like, I had a brother, his name was Felix, and you killed him. And here, now have this car.
Fuck that guy.
I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I think it's a good farewell to James Bond, to the Daniel Craig version of James Bond. And I would like to see another spinoff of Agent Naomi's, 007 missions. I think that would be a cool thing to do until we get another James Bond person. On to you, Jason.
Okay.
Buddy, bring us home. Bring us home.
This movie was trash.
It's gonna rain. No, look. I think you guys have hit all the notes. I think Remy Malek was terrible. I think y'all giving him a pass because it's him. He was god awful in it. I couldn't damn near understand what the hell he was saying because he was mumbling half the movie. So neither here nor there. It's either two type of Bond villains that you're going to be into. You're either going to be into a Bond villain who's menacing, that you actually feel like is a legitimate either physical or intellectual threat to Bond, like Blofeld, or it's just campy and over the top. So you enjoy the wackiness of the character, like Javier BM's version, in, I think, was Skyfall. He was nothing. He didn't kip any of them. He just was a dude, and that's fine. Be the dude, because this movie, the story is more about Bond and all that. I didn't need a world-ending situation for this. You could have kept it in that same pocket, and this movie still works, because regardless if he's going at the Spectre, Bond and his job is to protect everybody in the public, and the ideology that, hey, this weapon can be used to do further damage. You could have kept the villain being a small-time revenge villain. You didn't need this whole, at the moment, the shoehorn, we can do whatever we want to do with the world, because you never set the mythos that this guy was a psychopath in that sense. You made it the mythos that all he cared about was revenge for the murdering of his family. He pretty much got that revenge. His conflict with Bond could have been, yes, that Bond is trying to stop this weapon that can be used for worse things. And this guy's like, nah, I'm going to keep this weapon in my back pocket in case some shit ever pops up again. I can defend it. Cool. But no, you have to make this, he's going to do it to destroy whoever. Yeah, that's bullshit. The guy never cared about that. So to make him care about it at the end just seemed pretty crazy. Another part of this is that bothered me about the movie, and it just felt kind of just enjoying it for me, was, and it's just going off the series, they made it really heavily known in the last two that Bond was pretty much kind of washed up. Like, they nailed that hammer hard as hell the last two. And then this one, it's like, it took a couple of years. I guess he got refreshed. And that bum knee that was hurting him, I guess it's no bother anymore, because this dude is back.
They even referenced the knee.
It bothers me, because it's like, dude, you spent 2 movies making it be like, because each movie they thought was going to be Daniel Craig's last one. So you spent 2 movies hammering home that this dude is kind of washed. And in this one, it's like, nah, we back in Casino Royale style, baby. I'm busting through drywall. Like, just give me some consistency. But with all that being said, those are my own. And the movie was probably 30 minutes too long. Like,
what would you have cut?
You could cut a lot of the bullshit. Like, even the stuff with Rami Malek's character and all that shit could have been eliminated. I did like Blofeld, but you could have eliminated that. It didn't really have any real bearing, except for the whole person that him and James really aren't related, which was kind of like skeeted over in the movie, because when they had the stuff that touched them, everybody that has the same DNA should have died. So James,
they aren't related. They're adoptive brothers.
Yeah, again, I'm saying, but they kind of like skeeted over, like, this big moment to be like, Bond, should you feel something about, his shitty adopted brother, like, biting it? And it was like, nah, I'm good. He was a bad guy. I'm all right. But yet, we know Bond has loved bad women all through his life. Anyway, just, again, I don't want to, because that's a nitpick thing for me, but I was just like, whatever. But it just, to the point, it could have cut about 30 minutes of this movie. It could have still worked pretty seamlessly. I did dig the fact that the women in this movie were all about we not fucking James Bond life. That was great. Even Homegirl, when he meets her, she's unbuttoning his shirt, and he's like, damn, usually we can know each other. And she's like, oh, no, sorry.
Put the suit on.
Great. Yeah, great. I'm like, yeah, somebody wants to, fuck this old white dude now. Like, nobody wants to fuck this old white dude anymore. We good. We got it. Like, 20 years ago, baby. Now you old and washed. No, nobody's trying to hit that. Like,
but she did invite him back. She's like, next time you're around, stay a little longer.
Yeah, I took that as we just had a good time drinking and hanging out, because they did.
Yes, they had a
good time drinking and hanging out.
Drinking, shooting bad guys. It's a Friday night.
Yeah. So, but no, all in all, like I said, the movie, it was fun, man. It was just a really, really fun movie. And I think a lot of it was fun because, like, I know Jarren's like, I'm a gadget guy. For James Bond, I am a gadget James Bond guy. So that's why, again, but you gotta realize my James Bond is Pierce Brosnan. So he was gadget heavy in all those movies. So Daniel Craig's one to finally get to the point where they're really throwing in some gadgets and showing some cool stuff that he can do. Hell, the plane that him and the female 007 get in and go. Like, it was just a lot of dope stuff in there. I was like, oh, this is cool. Oh, that's
submarine
cool.
was cool as shit. Yes.
Right. I do wish that the tropish of that's not your kid, but it is your kid thing can we just do away with that in Hollywood? You know what it reminded me of? When I watched it, I was like,
Women
oh,
lie.
you're fucking Superman returning me right now. That's what you're doing to me. Oh, this isn't your kid. It's this guy's kid or whatever. And then it's like, you know what? It is my kid. Why would you lie about that? Shut the. It's his kid. Like, just say,
lie.
Yeah, especially when you want that child support.
Yeah. Not even that. It's like, this is your kid, but you would have known, but you told me that I would never see you again. So I didn't think, like, you have a good built-in reason why you didn't tell him. So why the lying now? Like, and then I hate the trope of, oh, I love you because you're my kid. James, you don't even know this kid. You don't fucking love this kid. Like, this kid, you only met like on camera, what, for a day? Get out of here. And you were talking about your kid. Like,
less than a day, probably like 5 hours.
Yeah, like, stop it. You don't love this kid, bro.
He made her breakfast once.
Yeah. Like, you don't love this kid, man. Like, no, get the fuck out of here, man.
He'd be like, I don't know. I want to claim this one.
I mean, he could have easily said, like, such and such, I wish I could be around to get to know you better and see you grow. Cool. I love you. What are you talking about? Then that means every kid that James Bond met for a half a day, he's in love with then. Because, get the fuck out of here.
In James Bond's defense, that little girl was adorable.
That little girl was ugly, too. Stop it, guys. We're going to finish off here. I'm tired of everybody being like his kids are like chubby and like cute.
I will say after hearing what you guys said, there's an interesting thing that I didn't really have the words for it, but now I think I do. Like, it's very interesting. Like, generally you judge a hero by his villains, right? And in a James Bond movie, generally the more bombastic and wild the villain is, the better the Bond movie is. But in this scenario, this was a story that they wanted to tell about James Bond. And James Bond was his story, right? So the villain was kind of window dressing or background, which is kind of what Malik was. And then they even shoehorned in Christoph Waltz for a touch. But I feel like it's one of those rare exceptions where, because the character's so well established, I was here for the James Bond story, and the villain's taking the back seat and not being very developed or having any good reason for being there didn't really bother me that much. You know what I mean? Like, normally that's
playing my time. Can I play my time and finish my
please.
review? Like, what are we doing, man? Like,
I thought you were moving to review. I thought you were moving to the scores. My bad.
You're claiming my time.
Play my time.
I thought you were about to turn us over to scoring.
Maxine
no,
Waters.
I literally was like in the middle of finishing it. You're like, yeah, I just thought about something. Like, all right, finding it off. Like, the things about this that everybody's going to enjoy is that because it is a quintessential Bond film, which you just took from me, that is about James Bond. Not 007. It's about James Bond. And this is probably one of the rare Bond films that is just about James Bond. Like, in my top 3 list, I mentioned his marriage to Tracy Bond. That other one is one of the movies that was about James Bond, less about 007. So I thought that was a very good way to end this, with this being, hey, this is about James Bond. And yeah, you're right. They got rid of a lot of the distractions to make it about James Bond, because you already had all the other movies set up when it was personal vendettas between Bond and someone else, and Bond and this person. This one was, his personal vendetta was like Jason said earlier, his vendetta was about the life. He can't be who he can never be James Bond, because 007 will always rear its ugly head into James Bond's life. And the only way for that to end is for it to end. So I was going to say that's what made me really love this movie, because that was hit home very heavily. Again, when you said, talk about the 007 just being a number, and like James Bond, even not knowing how to call himself at certain points, because he had to use his regular moniker. Like, again, and I thought that was really smartly and intelligently done. So that's why I definitely did like this movie. Now, Jarren, please, yes, you can go on.
Sorry, that was literally it. That was the whole thing. I'm so sorry. I honestly thought you were like, and now we're gonna go to scores, and I was like, hold on, but no, all right, my bad.
No, you're fine.
One of the scenes that I liked the most about this movie was at the very end, when they pour a drink for James, and they all, have a moment to reflect on James Bond, and they're like, let's get back to work. And they got to go back to doing their shit.
The world didn't stop. Yeah.
It doesn't stop. I do think they could have probably hammered in a little bit more that the nature of their job has changed, that, it's no longer about just, putting a guy, really badass guy in a room with, bad people, because, now it's not just one singular bad person. It is, these nebulous groups of bad people who can just do whatever they fucking feel like. I think that would have been, that could have been pushed a little bit more, because that's something that's prevalent in our day and age. But other than that,
yeah,
I like this movie.
And also I liked it. It's such a minor point. It has like it's a flash and you miss it scenario, but the level of joy that flashes across Daniel Craig's face when he picks up his daughter's like stuffed animal, when he's like, I'm gonna get this back to her, before he realizes shit's gonna go sideways. Like he's like, I got this. I'm going to be the greatest dad in the world and make up for all the years I wasn't around. Like he looks at it and he is really happy with himself. And then
best thing that happened to the little girl is he's dead.
Yeah. I mean, for sure.
1000%.
You're going to have this emotionally unavailable dad who's teaching you how to fucking gouge out someone's eyes with a fucking knife or some shit.
Let's go hunting, baby. Yeah.
James Bond was Cyclops. He just entered to the future, so it's just a little better than that. I guess let's go into our rating of 007, No Time to Die. Jarren, what is your rating on the movie?
This is a solid 3.7. See it in the theaters if you can. It's worth the price of admission. Plus, you're getting 2 hours and 40 minutes of movie for your $10 ticket price. Go for it, my guy.
$10? Where are you paying $10 at?
$14 ticket price.
I was going to say, what are you paying $10 at?
Jason, what is your rating on No Time to Die?
Any movie that makes me tear up, I was always going to add another point to it. So I'm going to give this like a solid 4, because I think, this was a good send-off for Daniel Craig's James Bond, and it should be safe.
It felt like it earned it too, right?
Yeah, it felt like it earned it. Yeah.
There was no tricks about the emotional thing. It wasn't cheap. It felt like it earned it.
Because I mean, you knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, it's not saying.
As soon as he didn't get back on the boat, you were like, "Oh yeah, this motherfucker's dead."
Yeah. I'm gonna give a 3.5. It's probably my third favorite out of all of the ones that Daniel Craig has done. But
Casino Royale, Skyfall, and this one.
Yep. You hit it right on the head. Yes.
Yeah, I was like, I mean.
So but I did enjoy it, and like you said, I think it is the perfect send up and send off. Hopefully, they do something with that 007 moniker in the future, because I like the person who gained it. I think she can do an amazing job if they actually put the time, money, and energy behind it. So we'll see.
I would just like to see that movie. I mean, I just think that would be as Naomi 007 just doing James Bond shit, but as a black woman. Fucking dudes or other ladies. I don't know what she likes. Or, pegging dudes. I don't know. I just think it'd be fun.
Solely gay guys, but then she just straps on the whole time. That's hilarious. That'd be amazing.
I got something for you.